not only is the universe stranger than you think, it's stranger than you can think. So...
Ew. That's too real.
Yeah.
Ew.
So even the conversation we're having is limited to our understanding of what exists. You know, like when we think of a simulation even, we think of computers because that's the most advanced technology we can comprehend. But what's beyond a computer? Think about the fact that you asked me, is it like a video game? That's the most advanced thing that we could think of is a video game. But like, there's way more advanced things. It's just we can't even grasp the thought of it. It's hard to say, is it a video game? I mean, no, it could be this is real life to us, but it's a semi-advanced simulation to another civilization. You know, and even when you listen to like Genesis, you know, God created the world in 7 days. It's like, that could easily be somebody at a computer coding for 7 days.
Oh my
right?
God. I mean, yeah.
And I mean, even if it's not, like I said, we equate it to someone programming because that's our furthest understanding of technology. But when they say God put us into existence through thought, well, obviously, if you could do something by thought, that's way more technologically advanced than using a computer to do it. We can't even comprehend what the hell reality is. We could only kind of decipher it and make our best guess. So that's really what I want to do here. I want to make my best guess about what exactly is going on. Just to throw another crazy thing in there, I look at the pyramids as a huge thing. Even Nikola Tesla actually obsessed over the pyramids. He was hired by, I believe it was J.P. Morgan, to create towers, electricity towers that would power the whole planet. And he created one, and then they ended up just shelving the whole project. But if you look at his tower and the design of it, it mimics exactly the pyramids, how the pyramids operate. The shafts going down in the pyramids, how they go underground into these areas. Tesla claimed that in 1 cubic square foot of air there's enough electricity to power the whole planet. And I mean, this is somebody responsible for alternating currents. He made the first hydroelectric power plant. He made x-rays, wireless transmission. He made a machine that could sit on a desktop that could mimic an earthquake. So he had this machine and he was in a New York apartment and he was commissioned by the government to make an earthquake simulating machine. So he had this thing about this big, you know, a little box, put it on a desk and he turned it on, barely turned it on, and it registered, I believe, like a 5.2 magnitude earthquake in the city of New York. So he was able, in this much space, to figure out a way to harness enough power in the universe to shake the planet.
Wait, who is this?
So Nikola Tesla, he died at 86 alone by himself in a hotel, deemed as just a crazy individual. So instead of going with a guy like Nikola Tesla, who is saying that you can power the whole world with 1 cubic foot of air if you allow him to, the problem though is, how is the whole world gonna make money off that cubic foot, right?
I mean, is there a way to get out of it? Is there a way to like reach the end of it? I mean, is that why Elon Musk is going to space? Like, is he trying to find the border of the game? Like, can we get out?
It is kind of crazy to think about that there seems to be a camp of people, like let's say a Mark Zuckerberg, they want to go into this metaverse. You know, they want to maybe go back home. They want to go as close to God as they can, and they want to go inside a simulated environment that's virtual, you know, that they can control and all this stuff. And then there's another camp of people that want to get off the planet and go to Mars. So that opens up maybe that there's originally a race of people that came from outer space, and maybe we live in a multi-dimensional universe where it's some people came from a computer simulation, some people came from Mars, and we're at a point in time where people are just trying to go back home. Maybe going home to some people is the metaverse, going home to others is Mars, I don't know. They also coined the phrase, men fear time, yet time fear the pyramids. And a lot of people, when they analyze this quote, it becomes, well, the pyramids are like the cockroaches of monuments. Nothing can wipe them out, nothing can destroy them. So nothing that can happen over the course of time will destroy the pyramids. I believe what it means is if we were to truly understand the pyramids themselves, why they're here, who put them here, it would destroy the construct of time. Because the only things really keeping us in this simulation are time and space. those are the two constructs that create the reality that we live in. You know, like if you do psychedelics, for instance, I've done a couple times, you experience ego death if you take enough of psychedelics. And what ego death ultimately is you losing the construct of time and space. And you almost just melt into a reality that you never knew existed. Like I've smoked DMT a couple of times. And the first time I did it, I only smoked a little bit because I was around people and I didn't want to get too weird. But the first thing I saw was a film go over everything. And it just looked like numbers and signs that I could never tell you what they were. And then the second time, I smoked a lot of it because I was by myself. And it was an experience I couldn't even start to explain. But there was a moment in it where I realized that anything that's ever happened to me is for a reason. It all led me to where I'm at, but then something told me everything is fake.
Ew. Oh my God.
Everything is fake, and it just left me on who cares? Like, who cares? That was the thing. Everything is fake. Who cares? And a lot of people, when they do hallucinogenic drugs, they get these lessons. And what I took from that is I'm the kind of person that cares way too much. I think way too hard. But this drug was telling me everything is fake. Who cares? You just live life. That's all it's about. It just broke all the constructs of my existence. And it was very hard for me to settle back into reality around people for a couple of days. Because you look at everybody else like, man, they're fucking out of the loop. You know, like they don't get it. And I think that when you talk about psychedelics like mushrooms and DMT, which is found in your brain and it's found in all kinds of plants, I think these are other things that Orion gave to us. It's like, it's almost little Easter eggs that are all over the planet. And I don't think it's a coincidence that they're illegal, right?
Oh my God.
Because a theory that I really like that I want to tie into this is the Anunnaki theory. The Anunnaki theory is one of my favorite theories that has to do with evolution and how humans came to be. And what the Anunnaki theory is that there's a 10th planet in our solar system called Nibiru, where a species called the Anunnaki lived. And every 1,200 years, they have an orbit that passes by the Earth. And on Nibiru, the way that they kept themselves safe from the UV rays that would harm them was putting gold in their atmosphere. And at one point, they ran out of gold. They had no more gold to mine on their planet, so they had to find another source. As they passed by the Earth, they realized the Earth was abundant with gold. So they took another race from a neighboring planet of theirs called the Inkies. So they took the Inkies, brought them down to the Earth, and they trained them on how to mine gold. And their whole existence was to mine gold. Thousands of years went by. It was very successful for the Anunnaki. But they started noticing that the Inkies were getting pretty smart. And the Inkies had gained a consciousness that allowed them to realize they were being used. Like, what am I getting out of this? You know? And the Inkies, once they realized that they're nothing but a slave race, they revolted against the Anunnaki. And the Anunnaki wiped them all out. Pretty much just slaughtered them. And that's when the theory comes in, they had to create a new race to do their dirty work. So they mixed their bloodline with chimpanzees after a lot of research and development and created humans.
What?
My point is, once all the Inkies realized that they were slaves, they tried to revolt and were unable to. The Anunnaki were too powerful by that point. We're kind of like the Inkies. We need to realize that there's a possibility that we're being treated as slaves. And our only purpose on this earth is to mine gold for the Anunnakis. And the simulation gives us the power to realize that that ain't what we gotta do. We can actually be in our own existence. We have the gift of consciousness. We don't gotta mine gold for these Anunnakis. And I think that when I look at the simulation theory or anything similar to it, that's the most exciting part to me, is people realizing they're being controlled somehow that's taking them out of their human element. I think the more people that accept, whether it's a simulation or we're in a world where we're being controlled, and they're over it, the better. Because that means that we could actually join forces and we can live the existence that was intended for us, not just be slaves that mine gold for the Anunnakis. You know, that's not what it's about. Whoever created this, I believe, put us here to further evolve the creation. If we all embrace the idea that we could be in a simulation, whether it be computer-based, video game, whatever the case may be, what that really does is it connects us, you know, because we're all part of this together. I think it would be a good thing if humans accepted the idea that the simulation is possible and we should live a life based on that anything is possible. Not only what we're told is real, and we can explore different opportunities in life. Just like we said earlier, the same reason psychedelics are outlawed, the same reason weed was illegal for so long. I do believe that these are all things that the Creator put on this earth to allow us to tie in more to each other and more into the Creator. Because the only time I've ever talked to God was on psychedelics. the only time.
So this is a test.
Okay. So like, yeah, what does that mean?
Are tortillas really the universe's main construct? We're all just living in a chicken quesadilla? You know?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.